Hey there, friends, and welcome back to the Soundstage EDU podcast. I'm Mike, your advocate for the arts, and it's now about 7:15 in the morning where I'm at. Just got the kids and the family out the door, and it's time for me to start my day. And typically, I sit back and drink a cup of coffee and just kind of ease into the day. But here's the situation that I'm dealing with today. I could not sleep last night. There was a lot on my mind, and it stemmed a lot from a parents group that I'm a part of on Facebook. And lately we've been talking about boosters and the lack thereof. Lack being a lack of desire, a lack of culture, a lack of volunteers, all the things that are hard, things that make this almost feel like it's not worthwhile. And I laid in bed all night thinking about all the posts and the comments and the replies that I saw, and I felt moved to reach out and record this before I started my actual workday. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully we get this done, it can process, and then it'll be up around lunchtime. We'll see. So today is Monday, the first Monday after a lot of schools went back to football. Marching band season has begun. We had college football start over the weekend as well, and I got to see a college game. And there was hopes that we would see the band. That was the talk. They were going to broadcast the bands because they were performing or they were playing out of the country. Well, I didn't get to see it on my side on the stream that I was watching, but I heard others did get to see it. But regardless, the arts are important to all of us, and they should be important to everybody. But let's be real, to some folks, they're not. So we have a lifelong fight ahead of us to put them in the spotlight where they belong. But in order to do that, I know, we need help. We need more than what's actually there in order to make this happen. And it's not that we're the ones out there on the field performing, but we are the backbone as the boosters of these groups, as the parents. Whether you call yourself a booster organization or not, if you are there supporting your kids, you are a booster. Remember that. Whether you're formally organized, whether you're a 501c3 or not, whether you're just casual and like, hey, we're a group of parents, we want to help our kids do this, then this one is for you. So I kept waking up throughout the night, and I would open up the feed and see more posts. And what was I seeing? I was seeing the same thing over and over. Why won't people step up and help our booster programs? Why won't parents volunteer? Why is it like pulling teeth? Why do people turn around and walk away when we approach because they know we're going to ask them to help us? That's exactly what we're going to address. And listen, if you're feeling burnt out, unheard, or frustrated, this episode is definitely for you. And if you're new and just standing on the sidelines for the first time, wondering how to get involved, this is for you also. So these are the words I see over and over. Tired, frustrated, alone, overwhelmed. One parent said, and I'll paraphrase, and I'm going to read a lot of things directly from the group throughout this episode that I just I've come across things that have stuck with me and things that will just, scroll real time and find. They'll be anonymized, so don't worry, I'm not calling anyone out. But one parent said, and again, paraphrasing, it's always the same 5 people doing everything, and everyone else just drops their kids off and drives away. And another one said, and this one's really telling, I tried to help once, but I felt like I wasn't welcome. Does that sound at all familiar? If so, I want you to know you're not crazy. It is real. And while some groups thrive, there are others out there that are struggling hard. And if you're in one of those struggling groups, I want you to know that I see you. And you are not alone. Others see you. They just may not know what to say. So I'm going to get out of my comfort zone, and I'm going to have the hard conversation with you guys, and I'm going to say the hard things that nobody wants to talk about. But in all of this, there's good news. I saw some stories that gave me hope. One booster president told a story about a new couple that was just standing back, that deer in the headlight look. They were totally overwhelmed. There were tons of parents helping. This was a solid booster group. And this is why. The short story is why. There were people loading the truck, loading the trailer, getting stuff put away, getting stuff packed up, running water to the kids, running snacks to the kids, making sure they had everything that they needed, doing what we would love to see a good booster program do. And this couple was standing there just overwhelmed because there was so much activity. And that's the problem. There's so much going on and people don't feel like they fit in because no one's actually talked to them. So instead of this president going up and saying, hey, go over there and sign up, he paused and said, hey guys, how you doing? And he introduced himself. And they got to talking. And they commented on how overwhelming it was, that there was so much going on. And then the dad spoke up and says, I want to be involved. How do I help? And that's when the invite became real. You see, the person initiated, the parent initiated, and instead of just leaving him be, the president did the smartest thing he could do, and he says, wait right here. I'll find the right person for you and introduce them to you personally, making the personal connection, rather than just saying, hey, go over there and talk to so-and-so. The magic was in that short moment. He's the president, and they knew that. But he took a moment to say, hey, wait, you know what? Just stand right here. Let me do the legwork. Let me get the person you need to speak to, and let's get you connected. That tiny act communicated something huge to this couple, to this parent. And that was this. You belong here. You matter. And that's what healthy booster culture looks like. Warmth, belonging, inviting people in. And that simply works. So I'm going to tell you another story. I'm going to pull this up. I saw this earlier as a comment in a post. A post to what I actually made first thing this morning, asking people, hey, what do you do to help? What's helping you? What's not? Et cetera, et cetera. And the first comment I got is exactly what I'm hoping to find and hoping to spread amongst these groups across the country. Again, no names. But this is what this individual said, verbatim, word for word. This was copy and pasted into my notes, so I'm going to read it now. They said, start now in the feeder programs. For the last 3 years as president, I've attended their concerts, held meetings with, and gotten to know the incoming parents before they are here. We now have volunteers tripping over each other, and I never have to beg for help. People who are not able to physically help are offered ways to still be included. Food and water donations, putting together sponsor letters, making lanyards, etc. Start your community early. Now, as someone who professes to be an expert in culture, I don't, but I do know a lot. I never thought of this. And then I started thinking more on it. What do college athletic programs do? They scout. They go to the high schools. They look for the young talent, and they start scouting them early to get their university, their team on their radar. Same thing here. Go to those early programs, support those young kids, those young musicians coming up, and get to know those parents. If you're in a position of influence within your boosters, you have every reason, every right, and every bit of credibility in order to do that. It could be as simple as this. You see that parent standing there watching. They got that glassy-eyed look because their kid just had an amazing performance. And you go up to them, and this is the hard part. This is a hard conversation. I know we're all a little introverted, especially in the fine arts. But these are your people. Remember that. They're parents too. And you go up to them and you say, hey, is your kid in the group? It was a great performance. What did they play? My name is Mike. I'm the booster president in the high school program. And I come out here to meet the new parents that are coming in. I just want you to know that your kid's doing great. We're looking forward to you being in the program as a high schooler. And we want you to know there's opportunities for you to be involved to help your child on their journey. And just start the conversation. Start it early. Because I do truly believe that the boosters, that the parents are the backbones of these programs. Because no one else is going to step up and do it for our kids. Just like athletics parents are there, ravenous, promoting their kid, you should be doing the same as a fine arts booster. So here's my ask. And these are going to be brief. We're going to do these brief morning things for every couple of days, where I'm going to expand on the series on boosters, just so you know. But here's my ask for you. We're going to dive deeper on how to build culture that actually works. So today we named the problem. Next time, we're going to talk about specific ways to invite people in and how to make sure no parent ever feels like they're on the outside looking in. So if you're nodding right now, along with this, saying, yes, this is the problem I'm seeing, this is the problem we're having, come back to the next episode. Share this one with your fellow parents just in order to get them ready for what's coming. And let's start changing this booster culture together. Because we need to. There's a lot of information to cover, and I don't want to overwhelm you with all of that on a Monday morning. Or maybe it's afternoon by the time this actually renders and gets released. But I need you to come back. This is going to be for you guys. So in order to make that helpful, make sure you follow the podcast. Follow us on Spotify. Start a conversation in the comments on Spotify. It's all within the app. You can do that. And also give us a rating. Let us know that you like what we're doing for you guys here. That really helps Spotify get this information out there on a broader scale. And that's what it is. This information needs to get out there on a broader scale to more parents, to more schools, to more programs in order to affect the change that we need to see in this culture. And you guys know we need to see it. We're going to address the cliques. We're going to address the unwelcome feeling that some parents have when they first show up. The overwhelm, the worry, the feeling like we don't have anything to contribute. We're going to discuss all of that. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty. So I'm going to let you guys go for now. And I want to thank you for letting me into your earbuds today, or into your car stereo, or wherever you're listening. Previously, we did an episode on boosting the boosters. I encourage you to go back and listen to that. You can find it in our catalog here on Spotify or Apple, wherever you might be. But you can find that episode, go back and give it a listen. It's going to give you kind of a framework of what we're going to do moving forward. Only this time, as we move forward, we're going to get into more detail, more granular approach. And I want you to remember, again, I'm going to say this over and over again, you are not alone. You are doing important work. And together, we can make this better. And as I like to say on this podcast at the end every time, let's raise the bar together.